Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me, your girl Sarah Donald, and today we're going to be doing a Q&A. This is the first Q&A on this channel. Woo! So it's just going to be all around Japada. The questions are here. Time to respond. Anyway, without further ado, let's get right into it. The first question is, why did you decide to move back to Nigeria? Guys, I'm not even gonna lie. I was one of those people that moved abroad because I was under my parents and I didn't have a choice. Yeah, I have always loved Nigeria. I mean, if my mom sees this video, my mom will be like, yes, Sarah has always loved Nigeria. I kept in touch with Nigeria. I have a relationship in Nigeria. I love Nigeria, right? Yes, I love Nigeria so much that I've always wanted to live here. I'm one of those people that I've always felt like, your destiny is here. Trust me, believe me when I say that. So even when I was abroad, I didn't take myself out of Nigeria. I don't know if you get what I mean. Like, I will always watch Nigerian films. I will talk to my friends. And if you want to move back to Nigeria, you love Nigeria, right? Try and keep in touch with positive people. I'm saying this because, you know, there are different kinds of people. Like, there are people that will be like, no, even if they're enjoying, they'll say, you're on this country, nothing, blah, blah, blah. So I kept in touch with people who didn't leave, who were successful, who were building their business, who had their family, who are just doing well. And for me, talking with them just always made me love Nigeria. Like, talking with them made me know that I was going to end here. So in terms of decision, I will tell you that the decision for me was the day I left, I knew I was coming back. That's why every time I'd left, I'd come back. I can travel, I can stay for a year, whatever, but I always come back. Was it always the plan, or did something push you to return? Yes, exactly. I think I just responded to that already. It has always been my plan to move to Nigeria. It doesn't mean that, like, maybe I am abroad for something. I'm saying this because maybe I move abroad tomorrow and someone say, I thought you said you like Nigeria. Yeah, because of how much I love Nigeria, if I move abroad, best believe that I am moving for a reason. And the reason is, like, probably I have work, probably family, you know, something like that sort of thing. But I will not just leave because I'm looking for greener pastures or something. Nah. No. Did you regret it at any point? Be honest. Don't you regret moving back to Nigeria every day? Like, literally, almost every day. Life will life sometimes, and something will just happen. Yeah, there are situations that, you know, sometimes the anyhowness of this country can actually get to you. I try to the anyhowness sometimes can get to you. Just as simple as hiring professionals. Yes, hiring people and just being sure that these people know their work and they can do their work. That sometimes make me feel like, God. But yes, it wasn't like I regret coming back. No, it's more like I wish things can just be done properly. Yeah, of course, so some things happen that you're like, but yeah, I've never had that. I'm going back. Yeah. So how did your friends and family react when you said you were moving back? My mom literally came to America to beg me. Yes, I feel like I have to do a story time on that. Of course, like my dad has always loved Nigeria. My dad built from the scratch in this country, so he has always believed he could. My mom grew up like in the UK, so she had more of abroad in her. But yeah, then family, of friends. Yeah, I had two kinds of friends. The ones I really kept in touch with, like I said, were the ones that are like, oh yeah, come back, like, great. And then I had the other people that are like, wow, if I live here, nothing is bringing me back, so you mean you that even have opportunity to stay? No. So of course I had those mixed reactions, but I had made up my mind. How long did it take you to adjust to life in Nigeria again? I love this question because the simple answer is that you never really adjust. You just adjust your mindset. Yes, and I'm good at that. I'm good at, like, managing my expectations, if that makes sense. So I won't say that you will just come back and imagine being used to 24 hours light and then you come back and you don't have 24 hours light. That takes a lot of adjusting. It's not a walk in the park. It takes a lot. So it's not something that you can totally do like overnight. You just say, oh yes, I've adjusted. No. But then, I mean, you work. One thing about Nigeria is that it's a place that you can work to get certain things. Like obviously when I moved back, I didn't have 24 hours light because I didn't have that kind of money. I didn't have that kind of funds to afford 24 hours light by staying in an estate, buying solar, buying inverter. But now I have that. So yes, it will always take you a while. But what I try to do is number one, change my mindset, know that I'm in a developing country. I'm here to grow, to help the country grow and to help myself as well. And at the same time, the things I can do, like for example, I used to do 9 to 5 before. I no longer do it because that one can make you not just want to move out, not Nigeria as a whole. That one can make you want to leave Lagos, having to be on the road Monday to Friday can be crazy. So I try to do things like manage myself. Like if I don't have to go out, I don't go out. I'm a very home service person. I can do my hair at home, everything that I can do at home. I made a video here about apps to use, and I can tell you, my loves, that I use all that app. Yes, I was hungry and I just ordered. I just got a message now that my food had been delivered. So my food had been picked up, sorry, so it will soon be delivered. I order everything. That thing that probably before, but before when I came back, initially, when I came back the first time, it was harder because we didn't have all these things like Glovo, Mano, we didn't have it. So having to just go and buy something. But I feel like the more development comes in, technology and all that, it makes it a lot easier. What shocked you the most after moving back? Okay, why I like these things that I didn't prepare for it, which is good. I feel like what shocked me the most was some basic things that you think have changed. Yeah, I know that one will shock you. Some just really basic things. So imagine coming from a country that is cashless. Like you can't remember when last you had cash because everything you have to pay for card, and that helps you to manage your expense. And you're coming back and somebody's telling you that this thing is 500,000 and they expect you to give them cash of 500,000. Like, can you imagine? I mean, you hardly see someone abroad holding $2,000, $5,000 as cash. But now, that was initially. Now that has changed. Nigeria is cashless now. Even the person selling pepper in front of your house will take transfer. Now, that was a change that really, really, really helped. But yeah, just the basic things, like they will shock you. Is there something as culture shock when returning home? I don't know, since I'm Nigerian, will I call it culture shock? Oh, well, yes. The truth is, when you change environment at like your mind and your soul and everything will change. I'll give you an example. I grew up in the East. In the East, the way we greet, good afternoon, ma, good afternoon, sir. Like when your uncles come to the house, good afternoon, good afternoon, good evening, good evening. Sometimes they never good afternoon, good evening. Then I moved abroad and I moved back to Nigeria and I moved to Lagos. Lagos people, like the way they greet in Lagos is different. Like greeting here is like a whole thing, especially when you see like someone in authority. Yes. So I don't know if I call it a culture shock, but you can actually be shocked moving from one state to the other in Nigeria. That's the truth. So it's a culture shock because when you walk in there with people, like let's say you're walking Yoruba people, and they're like they are greeting you in your mind. You feel like just saying good afternoon is greeting. And something like, better go down. What is that? How I'm supposed to greet? Yeah, and just the way people do things differently, or the way people do things. We have different culture. Nigeria is exciting because we have diverse people. So meeting different people, you can be in a room and everybody there is Nigerian, but we're all from different states. We all speak different language. We all see things differently, like we all eat different food. That can shock you. Is Nigeria actually cheaper abroad, or is that a lie? Nigeria cheaper than abroad? Oh, cheaper than abroad, or is that a lie? I'll say yes and no. If you live in Nigeria now, especially since after the pandemic, when we started getting a lot of remote jobs, oh, amazing. Because dollar to naira, sweet. So if you're doing any kind of job where they pay in dollars, by the way, for those planning to move back, if you have a remote job that you can maintain, you enjoy that money that you're making, spending it in Nigeria. And I'll say about cheaper, I'll say that, dollar is more stable than naira. So that's the thing. Like Nigeria is saving sometimes, like let's say you save 5 million naira, for example, and when you're ready for something, that thing you saved that 5 million naira for, 5 million naira will no longer be a lot of money. Does that make sense? So I think it's the economy is not stable, but where I would say is cheaper, again, personal, but I lived in LA, and obviously LA is very expensive. Another thing with Nigeria is that we pay for things yearly. I currently live in a house that I bought, but if I didn't have to buy this house, I'll be paying my rent every year. And my rent would have cost me $8,000 every year for like a 4 bedroom in Lekki, $8,000 every year. Now, in America, in LA, I was paying like 3,000 something dollars for 2 rooms every month. Yeah. So it can be, depends on where you are, how much you're making. It can be. I've seen a lot of people that, I've had conversations with people about things, and they're like, I know someone that's even commented on my page and say, oh, that I mentioned that somewhere was 500,000 a year. That please, is that a year or a week? Because she doesn't know any house in America that $600 can get you for an entire year. So it's tricky. And I feel like I'm going to really elaborate on this in another video, because I see a lot of people come back and they struggle because they come back with the mindset of Nigeria is very cheap. Then they are spending their dollars. Oh, how much is this? I know a lady on YouTube, her name is Kenny. She's trying to move to Nigeria. And there's something Kenny really said in her video that I really like, was when she said that now that she's moving back, she starts seeing it as I'm making naira. So when someone sends her a bill and say 200,000, she doesn't say, oh, that's cheap, that's about $300. No, she calculates it now as, if I were in Nigeria, how long will it take me to make 200,000? Do you get what I mean? So yes, I owe you guys a separate video on cost of living. Did you move back with savings? How much did you realistically need to start over? I did not move back an Odogu Maleo. America or abroad is a lot of the system gives and takes. The system gives and takes. So as you're making, you're spending. As you're making, you're spending. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, one thing I love about Nigeria is that I can tell you for a fact that everything I have today, I built in this country. And that is what I love about this country. Yes, I built in this country. I was not one of those people that came back with millions and then started up. My coming back was starting from the scratch. I know you hear a lot of stories because a lot of people say, oh, people are coming back now because they've made money abroad, so that's why they are coming back. No, I'm not one of those people. I came back and literally just started working and everything. Yeah. It's easy to find work or build a business in Nigeria. Business in Nigeria is easy to start, hard to maintain. It's easy to start because of the anyhowness in this country. It's not like abroad where to open a salon now, you need this permit, do this. You can get a shop, your house. Now I can decide to keep a table and chair in front of my house and decide to start washing my hair, or decide to say that I'm a mobile what do you call it, hair salon person, or a mobile hairstylist and stuff like that. So it's quite easy to start, but the problem is maintaining it, and that's because of the anyhowness of the country. The anyhowness of the country means that you might hire someone and expect that, oh, okay, this person knows what they're doing. No. So you have to be in everybody's space. You have to teach everybody. You have to be careful. You have to put cameras. You have to be careful that they don't steal from you, especially if you don't know the language. Like, you have to work hard towards meeting, honest people. We recently have NIN and BVN and stuff like that. We didn't have that before. So sometimes people can steal from you and you will not even be able to trace them. But I mean, now a lot of people collect like your NIN, and thank God for social media again these days. They put it up there. So yes, I'll say it's easy to start but difficult to maintain. About easy to get a job in Nigeria, I think it's a 50-50, which is what kind of job. If you're coming back, which is why there's a lady on Instagram that is doing a content that I can understand that content. A lot of people don't get it when she's telling people like, if you want to come to Canada, these are courses you should study. It's the same thing that applies in Nigeria as well, right? If you're coming back to Nigeria or you need to move to Nigeria, think about the things that are not ready. Like, don't come back and just say, oh, I don't want to put any course now, because I can make a detailed video about it. And I have a video that you can also check out where I spoke about businesses you can start in Nigeria. Yeah, so it's the same thing. What kind of business? Like, when I came to Nigeria, I was one of the first people to really go into digital marketing, So at that time, compared to now, where, everybody's learning, there is AI, there is, help and all that with digital marketing, I was one of those people that I was a digital marketer. I trained people, I did courses I taught people, and I got paid for teaching people how to explain it. Yeah, so if you're coming with, even if it's not new, let it have a different approach. So if you're coming with something different, what can you think about? What you can do for the country, not what the country can do for you. That's the easiest way to get a job. So if you're planning to move here, think about what you can do here that will stand you out. Think about the connect you have there that can help here. Does that make sense? Yeah. What do you do? What do you do for a living now that you're back home? Oh God, I do a lot of things. I'm into PR, digital marketing. I have a business. I'm into real estate. In Nigeria, I can't do one thing, right? Yeah. Do people take you seriously or treat you differently because you moved back? Guys, I love being honest with you guys. I'm going to be very honest. Thinking about it, one thing I'm grateful for my parents at that time traveling is that, I'm not going to lie, I had some opportunities because I traveled. Like, I'm not even going to lie. Yeah. Example, like when I started working in a film school, I had no experience working corporate in Nigeria. But the only reason I was able to do that was my experience with a film school in America. So yes, Nigeria believes that foreign is better. Yeah, they believe foreign is better. It's a mentality that is just in the system, right? So example, you want to manage Airbnb in Nigeria and they want to talk to me, and I've learned how to manage Airbnb in Nigeria, and you have managed Airbnb in Dubai or in Canada. They will listen to you first. So yes, people will treat you differently. Sometimes it can have a disadvantage in the sense that sometimes, right, I've seen it actually happen to people. They're trying to order food and they have an accent, and the person serving them is just outrightly rude because they just assume like she has an accent, she's feeling. No, she's not feeling, it's how she talks. You know what I mean? So yes, but there's more positive. I'm not even gonna lie. There's more positive for, if you are there and then you moved back. Because like I said, it's something we do. It's like Kenny, I mentioned again, that is moving back to Nigeria. She's an engineer. Unless I had to work with her, and she mentioned something that her experience working in Nigeria, her experience as an engineer there, and then now coming back. If she wants to look for a job, she'll get hired faster than someone who probably studied engineering here but doesn't have that abroad experience, because they believe that abroad that they do things the right way. So for you to have really climbed up the ladder there, that means you did things the right way. What are the biggest daily challenges? Okay, no, before then it says, how do you deal with light, electricity, water, and traffic? Oh, okay. I feel like, should this be two parts, or you guys, okay, let me just keep saying, how do I deal with electricity? Well, before, you have to have a generator. I had to have a generator and all that. But for the past few years of my life now, I just moved to an estate. Every time I've lived anywhere, recently, at least in the last 5 years, I've lived in estate. So the estates always, I call it paying for, I love to pay for peace of mind. I don't like to, hey, why is the generator off? Why is water not running? If I can pay for it, that's fine. People say they like standalone houses. I love serviced apartments. So how I deal with it is that I stay in a serviced apartment. And for me, having 24 hours light is non-negotiable because of the work I do. I spend more time. In a month, I can go out maybe in an entire month, I can leave my house 5 times and spend the rest at home. So if I'm going to be at home, that means I have to have light to be able to work. So yes, for me, that's how I handle it. And then traffic in Lagos, you have to calculate. So when I moved to Lagos, I used to enter traffic like a mad person. Because I'll just wake up around 4 and say that I have an appointment in Ikeja. But Lagos traffic is timing, right? There's a whole difference between 5 a.m., 5:30, 6. So you always have to calculate. Like when it rains, I'm going somewhere. I have to be somewhere at 12. It's been raining since 1st of July. It's been raining non-stop. So now I leave ahead of time. Like I have to be somewhere by 12. This is somewhere that normally I would have left like an hour, but because of the rain, I know when it rains, the road is just blocked. So yes, that's how I manage traffic. Timing, I kind of like know the way around now. And because I don't have a 9 to 5, if I want to go out now, if I want to book an appointment, first of all, I use Zoom a lot. I'll say, please, let's do it on Zoom, Google, whatever. Then if you need like us to see, if it's a meeting I have control of, I'll put in a good time. So when people are at work, I'll go do my meetings and come back before work closes. That's how I manage it. And for water, of course, if I lived in a standalone house, I'll have a borehole. I stay in an estate. They provide water. Yeah. What are your biggest daily challenges you face in Nigeria? I'll say the biggest daily challenges is just us as Nigerians not knowing the effect of what we do and how it contributes to the country. We are so focused on the government, which of course, but what we are forgetting is that these governors, ministers, whatever, they are people like you and I that didn't do the right thing. So that's why when they get there, if you're a good person, when you become a governor or the president, you'll be a good person. If you're a bad person, when you become the governor, like it will just amplify what you already are. So imagine the other day, people are complaining that Lagos smells, Lagos is flooded, blah, blah, blah. I see someone in their car, in an expensive car, winds down, throws away corn from his car. But this same person will go online and be ranting about how dirty it is. So sometimes the challenge is like doing a business, abroad. Like someone said to me one day that I have a store at home, but it's at home. And someone said, oh, why not go and rent a store outside so that people will be able to walk in? Because it's my house, they can't walk in. So you just have to order online, order online. And I was like, why? Because I can't deal with hiring people. God, it's not easy. Abroad you have to clock in at 7, at 6 something you're there. In Nigeria, hello my cousin's sister, as I was coming, the rain, I one day I said, let me try hiring. My assistant moved to the UK, so we work virtually. And I said, okay, let me get another one on ground. I don't think I even worked past 1 week. How are you telling someone that has been looking for a job, you finally give the person a job, person doesn't even have to come every day. Then those few days they come, you tell someone to come by 9. By 11, the person is calling, sorry, ma'am, I'm late. The appointment was 9, it's 11. Like so much excuses. So those are the anyhowness of it is the problem. I just wish a lot of us can see how our actions, recently something happened, like I have phobia for my house. I sell interior things that make your house look fine, smell good. It's called kosher spaces. I'm going to put it below in case you want to patronize me. But I also do up homes. But recently, I've had to put that on hold because how do you get artisans and then you pay someone for a job and they don't show up? Or they go use the cheapest thing. Like, things like that. It's painful. So at the end of the day, someone did it to me in my own house. And that kind of like gave me PTSD. And someone called me and said, please, can you do up my kitchen? I was like, no, I can advise. But to be the one in charge of that artisan, I'm sorry, I can't. So you see how someone else's issue has kind of like also spoiled mine? That's the thing. That's like the biggest challenge, especially getting the right people. Yesterday I used an app to get a plumber. I'm going to introduce it to you guys when I use them like 2-3 times to see how effective they are. But really, they were good yesterday. Okay. What do you miss anything about life abroad? Oh yeah. Sometimes as little things as, for example, walking on the street, I live in an estate. I don't want to carry my camera and be walking around the estate and be making a video. I would rather go outside to do it. But Nigeria, walking, you'll be walking on the pedestrian way, bike will come. You will see a car literally climbing. So yeah, little things like that, like just having to take a walk. I miss things like that. Recently I've been using these internet providers that they've really cyberspace. They've really been good. When I wasn't using cyberspace, at some point I was like, I have to leave this country because internet will make me lose job. But thank God I discovered cyberspace and MTN broadband. It has been amazing. At that time, I used to miss just, Father, you could go live, you could do things, and that's why sometimes the people abroad will be making more money when it comes to online stuff because of network. But now I have good network, which is great, so I don't miss it. Like, I don't miss network. But yes, there are things like I said, just being able to take a walk and like talking and making this video now rather than sitting down. That's why someone said, "Oh, go out." I go out and make videos. Like, you don't understand. If you want to chase me away from here, when you just think of the stress, you might just be outside making it, and someone just come and say, "Where's your permit for camera?" Yeah. Is it hard to make friends or date after moving back? Should we do a video on dating in Nigeria? Let me know in the comment section. Challenge making friends. I feel like, well, before you move back, it's always advisable to, especially if you didn't grow up here, or maybe you grew up and left when you were small, it's always advisable to meet people. These days, a lot of people, I have a lot of friends I met through social media, funny enough, a whole lot through social media. So I always tell people, like, join something. If you're a Christian, you can join church, whatever. That's how people make friends. Just in common, yeah, join WhatsApp groups of people that you share a lot of things with in common. Do people expect you to be rich because you lived abroad? Of course. Of course. Now, a no-brainer. They expect the moment you say you live abroad, so you have, in fact, anything they want to charge you is double. They just assume, they don't believe that anybody is poor abroad. What? How do you handle being misunderstood or judged for your choices? Oh, I stopped caring. Yeah, I actually stopped caring because people will judge you because you live your life differently or because you do not follow the way they are expected. In Nigeria, like a typical Nigerian home expects that, oh, you wake up, you go to school, you graduate, you get a job, you get married, you have, so when your life is not, when you decide that, no, I don't want it to be this way, this is how I'd rather live it. You see a lot of people judge you, but what I've noticed is that when you don't care, like, are you paying my light bills? Are you, hello, why? So when you stop, you don't care. Like, I feel like this is not just a Nigerian thing, it's everywhere, right? You will not do what you want to do if you start looking at people. If you start looking at people, you won't. So as long as you know, I always tell myself, as long as you know you're not hurting anyone, and at the end of the day, everybody has their life to live. That's it. Who should not move back to Nigeria? I love this. Who should not move back to Nigeria? A whole lot of people. A whole category of people. Do not move back to Nigeria has to be a video that I'm going to make. But one thing I'm going to stand out is like, do not move back to Nigeria. If you're moving back to just complain, you will be frustrated. If you're moving back and all you want to do is complain, my dear, you'll be frustrated. So you only move back when you know that you're coming here to make a change, you have something different you want to bring in, you love the country, you want to come, it's a developing place, then you can move back. But do not move back if you're just here to say, no water, no light, no. Oh, you will complain. You'll be like all those people that, growing up in Nigeria, we had those people that when newspapers used to sell a lot. So they will gather around the paper. They will talk about governors. They'll talk about presidents. They will argue. They'll talk about wrestling. They'll talk about sport. At the end of the day, nothing will change. So yes, don't move back if you're just coming to be complaining. Just stay where you are. What should someone absolutely do before deciding to move, to return or to move? What should someone absolutely do? Change your mindset. Change your mindset. Even me, I'm Nigerian, right? I live in Nigeria. Nigeria is developing. There's some things that I expect in Nigeria. There's some things I expect in South Africa. When I'm going to places like Zanzibar, there are some things that I expect. Do you get what I mean? So change your mindset. Change your mindset. Don't be listening to all those people that used to say, Nigeria is a jungle. Nigeria is my, if you come, you will not make it because you will just keep seeing only the negative things. You'll be seeing, you have a reason. You know that some people, even on this video now, they'll still have a reason to come, and they've decided that all their life, all they want to do is see something negative about their country. Yes. So if you must change that mindset. You must change the people. You must always see things from a positive view. Like sometimes some things happen. Something just happened in America. It was tragic, like, right? But the way we've conditioned ourselves now is as if this thing only happens in Nigeria. Yes, the carelessness of sometimes the anyhowness of things makes it to happen only in Nigeria. But if it makes it to happen not only in Nigeria, but makes it like look like, okay, abroad it might be a bit different or handled differently. You get what I mean? But when you're angry about something, complain about it and leave. Don't dwell on it. But the most important thing, that change your mindset. Know that this Europe I'm living, this America I'm living, yes, they are way ahead. But here, I'm here to make a change. I'm here to do this. I'm here to contribute. I'm here to go. I'm here because I believe in this place. So that is one thing, regardless of getting your malaria shot, you know, those other things, getting your accommodation intact. The first thing is to change your mindset and see positive things. Because when you come to a place, there's just something about it. When you start seeing, check people who have not left this place, but they are made. Don't focus on this, how this person left this person left the country. He's no more living in Nigeria. Think about, this person is no more living in Nigeria, but he bought a passport that cost $150,000 in Nigeria. Wow, that means there's money to be made here. Despite the challenges that come with creation, he was able to still create and make it, rather than focus, this lady now, she's in Canada, but she's in Canada. But the moment she got to Canada, she bought a house. That means she and her family, they've been in Nigeria all this while, making money here. Instead of seeing it from the view of, people are running, see it from the view of, wow. So people even had enough money in this economy to raise up to 40 million and travel. Okay. Do you get? So yes, absolutely. Your mindset. How can someone mentally prepare for the transit? I think it's the same thing. Mentally prepare is the same thing, like I said. The things you don't have control of. If you have money, for example, and you're moving to Nigeria, and you know that 24 hours light for you is something that is important. I've consulted with a lot of people, and they always say, Sarah, I heard in your videos that you have 24 hours light. How do we do it? For me, 24 hours is non-negotiable. Internet is non-negotiable. So the things you can control. The things you can't. The things you can't control, you let it be. You made a choice to return. Would you recommend moving back to Nigeria in 2025? That's the last question. What do you guys think? The answer is absolutely yes. I recommend investing in Nigeria. I recommend moving to Nigeria because Africa is now. I recommend moving back if you can, because trust me, I understand that some people have their whole life already set up. You can't just get up and start living. So that's what I mean. If you're planning and you're like, should I or shouldn't I? If you're already planning, then the answer is you should. Even if you're not ready, start investing in Nigeria. Because at the end of the day, just a little tip. You know why these countries that we go to, why it seems like, they are better, they are it's because they know that that's their country. So whenever there is problem, they're like, this is our country. We don't have anywhere to go. Where do we solve it? But I feel like a typical Nigerian, every time you go on Twitter, you see things like, if you have an opportunity to leave, even if it means to sell everything. Do you see people in Europe telling themselves, even when there are challenges, you don't see them saying, sell yourself and sell everything and go to Africa. Also, they know that this is their country. That, where are we going? So let's make it work, right? So that's what I believe. I believe that if we start having that mindset of, even if we're abroad, let's remember that all this bad PR we are giving Nigeria, okay, you left. Did your mom leave? Did your father leave? Did your uncle leave? Did your cousin leave? There's someone here. So if Nigeria is better, by extension, that person that is calling you to ask you, please help me urgent 2K, 20,000, I want to buy something, 30,000, I want to buy something. If things are better, People will not, you will not be busying people's calls. I see a lot of people abroad complaining that, I saw one guy, he was really complaining that even to pick his family's call is hard. I wish he just came to Nigeria and sat down. So everybody will be looking at each other. That is more like everyday bills here, blah, blah, blah. So if the country is better, it's for everybody. So when we see it like that, even when you don't live here, your heart is still here. Because when your heart is in something, you contribute. People call sometimes, how can I contribute? Do you know you can contribute sometimes by like watching Nigerian films? Yes, you're helping the industry grow. Buying Nigeria, saying positive things about Nigeria, going on Twitter, going on Instagram, and saying something positive about Nigeria, praying for Nigeria, blessing the country. It will make a whole difference. Because like I keep saying, at the end of the day, this is us. No matter where we go, this is us. For some people abroad, you might not come, but your kids are coming back. What country do you want them to come back to? Thank you so much for watching. My name is Sarah Donald, and if you like this video, please do well to share, comment, and all that great stuff. If you want me to elaborate on anyone, always stay on the comment section, and you guys know me. I got you. Thanks and stay blessed.